think that I'm so fucking tired. I always have to get notifications on. Yeah, it helps. Even I forget kind of how important it is to have notifications. And I still feel like I'm waking up. It's one extra because it's so goddamn rushed. What's happening is kind of just a talk. Or the camera can decide to fuck off. Never mind, I guess we're starting off a scuff. Probably shouldn't be a habit, but I seem to have just like, oh, here's a list of things I want to do, a list of things that I want to talk, because it does lead into why I'm trying to make the changes that I am. Unfortunately, that does not mean I have any sort of coherent plan. That would imply I have my shit together. Even as long as I've done this, I clearly do not. That's gonna make us start a plan on Thursday. You would think I understand. Because I do make plans. In fact, that's part of why I still have stuff I want to do. Like, I make plans to the point where I made fucking spreadsheets. I try to document my stuff pretty much so that I have an idea of where I'm going and what I'm doing. Almost set up. Just a little bit. Because fuck knows I'm looking at myself like, oh no, that seems like a good quality. Then I see the playback, it's like, oh wait, no, that's still too quiet for me. Okay. That's enough fumbling in the end. Let's actually transition. That ain't it. Oh god, that ain't it. The question is, have you acted on the plans? I've definitely started since the year began. Hold on a minute. Oh, I know what I'm missing, motherfucker. I spent so much time, and then I realized, oh wait, I am missing something. I know what the fuck I'm missing. But no, I've definitely at least tried to act on the plans. My biggest issues that I've had, besides the execution, because fuck knows that words fail me, excuse me. Fuck knows that I've basically, much as I've tried to act on scheduling, act on execution, it kind of just feels really, really short-handed. Okay. There we go, much better. Now, back to what I was actually trying to discuss. Because you mentioned the execution of them. What the fuck is that? Why does it say... Look, eh? I wish I could show what I'm seeing on screen, because it's saying... it's saying, like, translation required. It's like, that's not what you said. But no. Because what I wanted to actually... was actually what we actually talked about. No, not yesterday. The day before. Fucking last night. Well, the night before. Unfortunately, I still had a fucking outage at that time. They just speaking a different language. Too bad it's not telling me what language. Too bad it's not telling me what language. But no, let's actually focus, goddammit. Because as I said, there is a disconnect between, like, the stuff that I record and the stuff that I play on a stream. Because I still basically treat it as, like, two completely different things, excuse me. And it's mainly because it's still just a force of habit. I'll get into, like, holdbacks in a bit after this, because there are two main holdbacks that I feel... It probably shouldn't, but it's probably worth mentioning anyway, because of what I need to do. Because, yeah, there is a disconnect. And despite how much I've tried to, like, think, oh, what can I do differently? Because I tried to do that at least for, like, actually, because I know for the default, that's what I tried to do. And definitely more in my Renegade Planet I tried to do. Like, try to make it seem more like how, to try to keep it consistent with what I do on streams, with those two playthroughs I do with, like, what I'm doing right here. Like, have this sort of setup, minus the chat, of course, even though it's jarring as fuck. Like, have actual commentary, have, like, stuff happening, edit down so it's digestible. Sometimes with this screen because... That's not right. Sometimes with this screen because the fucking aspect ratio. Mainly just to have it adjustable for that screen. But that's generally the gist of how I try to, like... what I wanted to do to make it consistent. Because it fucking isn't right now. The other thing is... And again... what I wish to aim for versus what it actually appears. Because what it seems like is that I basically don't have a basically don't have a structure. It's kind of all over the place because it kind of feels like I don't really know what I'm aiming for. Kind of true, but not really. Because yes, I don't have any consistency, and I kind of just do whatever. Like that niche, yeah, like it, because I kind of just want to do what's the best way to phrase it without it sounding horrible? Taking multiple classes, and a lot of them have to be public speaking. You would think I learned by this point. No. I still struggle. Probably part of why I wanted to do streaming anyway, so I could actually get better at public speaking. That and just, you know, what I'm mostly aiming for, which is, like, entertaining. Because the thing that I actually like, and it comes into the personal holdbacks, is the inspirations I kind of look at for the stuff that I want to do comes from stuff with mixing informational stuff with entertainment. Because yes, I actually do like go into the path of like entertainment and actually giving like an actual reason to have people watching stuff. But I also kind of like the more informative stuff. And every time I keep thinking back, well, what is the stuff I tend to watch? It probably isn't anything that's remotely similar to what shoes tend to be. Like, a lot more informative stuff, like, pardon me for sounding fucking old, right? But the stuff I grew up watching YouTube back then versus now is stuff like Bummer Meals channel, Chugga Convoy, or Proton Johns, or NCS's. Funnily enough, that's the Runaway Guys, basically. Or when Vtuber was still a thing, with Slow Beef and Diabetes. Way back when they was doing stuff on that particular channel. They're still doing stuff together nowadays, but it's not on the Vtuber channel. Like, stuff like that is kind of what I kind of want to draw inspiration from and why I actually want to do this. Because that's the stuff that's entertaining, that I fucking loved watching. Like, the mix of information and entertainment. That's kind of what I really want to aim for and why I was kind of doing this. What actually happened with the niche that I actually want to build, since, yeah, even back then I started developing the channel because of trying to get my foot in the door with content creation, with how bare bones I was starting it off with. But what actually ended up molding as what is actually looking like the niche is like the most viewed stuff on my channel is what? BFBB mix, some Pokemon stuffs because of XG Next Gen and Grand Coliseum, and everything else kind of just, I don't want to say mellowed out completely, but if you notice the difference between those three, definitely, and the rest of the stuff that I had put out previously, even stuff that I generally, even though a lot of it is stuff I generally enjoy more than that, it's kind of, again, words fail me. It kind of just seems like, oh, this is what this channel is. It's like, no. Excuse me. Like this. And the other reason why I started doing this sort of thing, at least now, more than I ever would have considered back then. I'm just gonna say right now, I fucking hate my voice. Like, every time I try to get behind a microphone, doesn't matter what microphone it was, even when I was growing up, I was like, yeah, that's what I sound like? How do people listen? Like, that's not to say I hate everything about my voice. That's kind of just how it is. But it definitely feels awkward trying to listen back to it, whether it's trying to see what I can do better or through editing, because I don't have an editor. I edit everything by myself. And I still kind of feel like it's rudimentary editing anyway. But that's definitely something it is one thing I wish I could change about myself if we're going that route. Besides my procrastination, right? That's the biggest issue I have is procrastination. But in terms of like superficial stuff, it's my voice. Because I don't know what proper voice training there is to kind of help have it be something I can actually listen to myself and go, yeah, that's definitely good. Because I listen to myself every time, it's like, oh yeah, that's like, no, I sound fine. Then again, I don't know how else everyone else listens to me. I definitely know how I sound like behind the mic, and I cringe every time I do listen. I don't know. Like the only best way I can describe it is I don't like how it sounds. And I don't know if it's because if it's a personal thing, like, well, that's just something I gotta fix on my own. Or if I literally do have to make some sort of changes outside of that, just so I can listen to myself without feeling like, God, that's why I sound like behind the mic. And at least so that I know, oh, people are listening to it and internally cringing. Fuck knows I'm not getting any feedback on that. But like, that's definitely why I like trying to discuss like a niche and stuff. Because if I can actually understand like what I actually want my niche to be, sometimes you just gotta accept people who don't like it and don't. Not possible to please everyone. Also, can you bring it down? Yes, I can. Jesus, I generally thought that I put it down low enough. I guess not. But I get what you mean. Like, you can't please everyone. That's kind of where I was going to head towards. I just don't know how much lower I can put it without it. Well, I'll probably put it down until it's like, no, you gotta put it down lower. Yeah, like, I get what you mean. Okay. Okay. I was actually gonna change the track in a bit, but like, that makes it a whole lot easier to kind of see where I ought to have like the sound is. Because I know it's saying like around negative 36, negative 42, negative 48, kind of around there. That makes it a whole lot easier. But like, yeah, I understand I can't please everyone. That's not even where I was actually going. It's kind of just because it's one thing if someone doesn't like the voice, right? It's one thing if people hear like, oh no, I like it, and no, I don't. I'm talking about how I kind of hear myself, and even I'm like, it's kind of why I avoided using mics or listening back on a mic, because it's like, wish I have a better idea of what it actually sounds like in my head. Because even if I'm listening to myself without a mic, right? I hear myself and I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Put me in front of a mic and I'm like, ugh. How? Like, do other people kind of hear themselves? Because I have no fucking idea. Or is that just how... Is that just how audio is? Speaking of audio, where the fuck is it? It is excuse me for a second, because yeah, it's so weird. Honestly, making my voice sound deeper than what I hear in the mic. Like, to me, it's like. We're gonna do a little bit. There we go. To me, it kind of sounds like I'm. I don't want to say incoherent, but it's definitely just a little bit harder to understand than how I think I'm coming off as. It definitely sounds like that when I'm saying certain things like Carl or Coral. Because for some reason that seems to me to sound the same to people. Or fucking... No, I think that's just it, because I barely say my first name. Yeah, Coral. When what I'm actually saying is Carl. Because for some... Or when I say... Because I'm not really good with names. I'm trying to say it back as like... No, that can't be right. No, it actually is. But no, that's... fucking speech in general. I don't think I have any speech impediments. And I actually have folks who actually know people who do. Is like... I don't know how to describe it other than... without sounding insulting. That's not even relevant to the discussion. What am I doing? I'm sorry. Do I seriously have that tip? But the first... You know what I wish I could do? Because it's been a while since I've put up, like, a reference of, like, what I had written down or whatever. That used to be a completely different screen. Matter of fact, here. Hold on. But that doesn't look right at all. Well, what I was going to do was show what the fuck I was referring to by like... Because I have, like, two main documents I have. One of them is, like, a to-dos list for the year, which only goes up to, like, the start of the month to the end of the month, and then the start of next month. And then upcoming projects, which is pretty much what I base on what I do, or what I started to do, based off of something else that I had as a Google Doc. Again, a spreadsheet, but, like, I'm using Linux, so it's still a fucking spreadsheet. Let me see if I can actually... Actually, no, hold up. I could... Here's what I could probably do. Give me 1 second. Because I'm probably not going to show the whole thing. It's just going to be... Let's put it as an image. This is why I don't tend to do things on the fly, because it feels all fucking messy. Really, it's just to, like, show, like, hey, here's what I had. Yeah, that should be fine. Keyword should. My apologies. Yeah, that's fine. That this is the important stuff I was trying to get to anyway. I will get to my VTuber model because I actually wanted to talk about what I wanted to do to change it. There are people who use Linux, so can't help. My idea was to use a screen. Yeah, that's literally what I did. Just take a screenshot. Honestly, at this point, the reason I switched over to Linux is because I got sick to death of Microsoft BS. And because I'm using Linux Mint, it's basically a seamless transition from Windows to Linux. It's also a lot more, like, it also been, since I've switched over, it's been a lot better for resources on my computer. Is there some compatibility with, like, Windows apps? Yeah, but there's multitudes of workarounds for that. Let's just say I'm not going back to Windows. Like, I have no reason to go back to Windows. Not anymore, anyway. But this is what I was talking about. Because I want to say that's kind of where I'm currently at with, like, the Switch. Because I have everything sorted by, like, month. Basically. Because it's generally how long it's probably going to be for each one. Unfortunately, what I didn't do was put it as to whether or not it was going to be like a one-off thing or it was going to be a full playthrough. That's something I did kind of have in like on a previous spreadsheet. Or whether or not I even played it. And while it kind of seems like, oh, that's a lot that you're doing. Maybe it isn't, I don't know. But that's kind of where my headspace went. I was trying to see, like, okay, so I kind of want to have an idea of what I'm doing for the month, or through the year. What can I put down? At least as a baseline. And chances are, even this is probably going to be changed by the time this stream ends. Like, seriously. Like, already for, like, April and June, I don't remember. Because that was originally going to be, like, a Monster Hunter mod stream. That changed completely after I realized, oh, wait. What I'm doing now isn't it. This isn't it. Because I was a Jewel Battle mode, that was originally going to be a full playthrough, that ended up just being a singular stream. Renegade Platinum did actually more or less became a full thing. Pikmin Square, that, again, since I haven't done anything Pikmin related, that was also gonna be... That didn't happen. The only thing I can see going wrong is viewer burnout, since there would be a whole month of the same streams. Heard that from those streamers' videos, though. Oh, yeah. Like, that's something I do realize, but that doesn't mean that the entire month's gonna consist of this thing or this game. Because the way I kind of have it is that because none of them are blind playthroughs. Like, no, seriously, I don't do blind playthroughs on the channel. The last time I tried to do that was with Dark Cloud 2, and it's like, oh, wait. This would be a lot more fun if I actually played it beforehand, so I can actually have my thoughts all together and actually discuss, like, information and be entertaining. Like I said previously, that's kind of what I want to aim for. And chances, and as far as I can recall, like, this is even for stuff that I did previously. Even for then, it wasn't like the entire month was taken up by that one game. I want to say the longest I've had a game going for like multiple months was maybe Monster Hunter. Because that was around the time like when Rise was still more or less recent, and Sunbreak had released. But like everything else wouldn't last more than a few weeks at most during a month. The closest that came to that, like the longest I've definitely known what took that long was when I was doing Shiny Honey from XG Next Gen. Even then, that but you could argue for blind viewers, you can see the streamer connecting different places and stuff, and the viewer could point out. Yes. But I also don't like. I don't want to say I don't like being lost. If I'm doing something for like. Again, best way that I could put it. Because I'm trying to think of it in a way that I tend to interact with things that I watch. Because yes, that's actually a good point. The thing is, that's never something that comes to my mind because the things I tend to watch aren't like first time playthroughs because it's kind of like, there's something you're completely missing. And then the other extreme is people backseating. Like the stuff that I tend to do is stuff like, oh yeah, the stuff that I've played, things that I practice, things that I actually know about the game, I can also use to inform people about, or stuff that I may have not known in a game that I've played for years. I want to say, I know it's definitely for stuff like Souls like that's been the case, but like for every time that I've actually watched a, because I don't think it was necessarily walkthroughs, right? Like to go back to earlier examples, the reason why I like watching the stuff that it is because that's stuff. Oh, that's stuff that people know about. Oh, this person actually knows what they're doing. It's kind of why I try to stay away from it. Is like it can be frustrating to watch blind playthroughs, in my experience anyway. And it's a lot funnier to see, oh, this is a game that this person actually knows how to play, and actually doing stupid stuff with it. Like doing like glitches or weird interactions with the game. That sort of thing is entertaining to me. Because it is. It's fucking hilarious. or just how things kind of just happen as they're playing along the game. Because those are the kind of things that you can experience even in something that you know, and still have it be like fun to watch. Or something, or say like a new discovery if you're watching like speedruns, because that's another thing I tend to watch. I definitely find myself watching more as time went on. It's like if it's not stuff like stuff in the same style as Shaka Khan or Vtuber, it's speedruns, whether it be Super Mario 64, OT, or even like new games that have come up in the speedrunning scenes. Like new discoveries is definitely something that can spark interest and can actually get people to actually see like, oh, what's the new shit that's actually gonna make a speedrun faster, or something that completely breaks previous records. Or what's the new fucking trick that ends up being like really detrimental to a speedrun that's something they can document. Stuff like that I find so interesting. Because it's about stuff that people have since played, have since gotten experience about them playing it. Because it's so fucking interesting. It's like all these years later, we're still learning new shit. It's awesome. And granted, the stuff that I have, like even stuff like this, like what I have in a spreadsheet, right? Even if it's stuff that people may not actually write discoveries of, it's still, yeah, a lot of these are still gonna be indie stuff because while I may not be doing like ROM hacks and stuff or mods, I definitely still want to lean more into indie game stuff. Besides the obvious examples that you may see, like fucking, maybe not Shantae, right? Definitely not Digimon Story or Clear Obscure, especially nowadays. But like, I like time goes on as I actually find myself more interested in playing indies than I have playing the new big release. I want to say the last time I did that was, well, the last few times I want to say was Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate. I will say that was like the last time I stuck around with like big releases like that. Oh god, don't tell me I'm sick. That's the last thing that's the literal last thing I need. Now look at. Oh no, never mind. I think the most recent example of like a game that I've done for like a month or longer. Yeah, definitely Dark Cloud 2 because that was a pretty long game as an RPG. But also, Super Luigi RPG was another ROM hack. But that's about it. I tend to, like, because of how spaced out the streams have been, it may not be as noticeable for like burnout for a specific game or stuff that people would want to watch. I think it's more so that the way I'm looking at it, it seems fucking cramped. It's like, oh, but it's this month. I gotta do this thing. And then I feel like I'm falling behind because it's taking longer than I anticipated to actually do the thing. Or maybe I'm... Actually, no, it definitely is the case. Because even back then, I would definitely not linger on for one game for a single month. Yeah, Pragmata. That's another one. It's like, holy shit. Because, like, I didn't even... Oh, jeez. I don't think I remember seeing anything about Pragmata. The last I recall was, it being developed back in 2020. But I don't recall hearing any sort of news up until its release. At least none that I recall. You know what else? Like, the reason why I don't tend to get interested in big releases. Like, generally just the cost of actually getting the games. And I say more indies because, well, no shit, they're cheaper to buy. But, like, I definitely see... Because the most recent game I actually was going to continue playing was Vernal Edge. And even then, it's like... I might end up treating it as a one-off. But even when I was playing on my own, it was like... Oh, dude, it's been a while since I played a Metroidvania. And I actually had fun playing it. And it might just be me having trouble translating having fun playing in my own time versus would it be a game that would be interesting to play on a stream? that's been one of my biggest struggles because I may have fun playing it, but would it be fun to watch? Like I'm looking at the list right. I'm still looking at the list right now. Like ignoring me attempting to do like 2 Zelda 2 fucking ROM hacks, which I know for goddamn fact that's not gonna be shoved into the end of April. But after Image, oh look, another Metroidvania. Momodora, which again, another Metroidvania. Deltarune, which hopefully is gonna be after Chapter 5 releases. At the very least, then it'd be interesting for that to be a live stream. Because I fucking love Deltarune. Shantae, since I definitely haven't gone to this yet. Or Risky Revolution for that matter. Bomber Cyberpunk, which I want to say is the closest I'm gonna have to having a Jet Set Radio Future type game on the channel. Again, much as I love Jet Set Radio Future, a lot of it is going to be translating to I'm having these pauses. I can't stop having these goddamn pauses. My apologies. Because I'm still trying to think. Even as I'm going along with this, I'm still trying to think. Digimon story, because even more recently I realized how much I've kind of stopped giving a shit about. No, that's not fair. More so that I haven't got any interest to do more Pokemon than I would need to. Because literally it's just been fan-made stuff. Iconoclast, yet again another Metroidvania. And look, another one. This time it's fucking Toho based. And I don't even know if it's gonna be this one or Toho Luna Nights that I end up playing instead. For that. And also, and all of this is just depending on how long it's gonna be for each one. Because as much as I had putting stuff like this sorted out, a lot of it is also like, okay, when can I do this thing? Or how long is it gonna be before it's like you mentioned, like viewer burnout for like the entire month. Because chances are it's not gonna be just for that particular month. Maybe shorter, maybe longer. I haven't mapped it out. And then Clear Obscure at the end of this year. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I haven't even mentioned my fucking model. Because I mentioned, I want to say last time as well, like, did I mention the layout? I mentioned a change of the layout. I didn't say when that was going to be. All I said was the innocuous, oh, that's going to be happening soon. I don't know how fucking soon. God knows I seem to be struggling more and more with a budget. But that's something I want to change, the layout. At least for what I'm currently using. I still wanted to have the aesthetic that I'd be interested in. But the reason I even pointed out, like, the model, like, despite how different it may look since then, it's still using the same fucking basis. Like, the same basis that I've had since 2022. In fact, I can sort it in, like, no. Like, the only difference now is that I'm not wearing glasses. Because I had because for a time it was like, oh yeah, I'm in this thing. I can actually put on prescription if I wanted to. 200 prescription is very fucking low. Like, so low I might as well not be wearing glasses. But that's kind of what I wanted to, like, mention for, like, the model. Because, like, I still wanted to, at least for me, like, okay, this is the character. This is the character I'm sticking with at this point. This is what my established identity is. But I also want to change it so that it actually better reflects who the fuck it is. Because it still doesn't very much look like the character I'm actually... What? Actually, no, you see it every time in the fucking startup screen. Like, this motherfucker. And I'm still nowhere near where, how he looks. That's kind of... Yeah, I think that's all the topics that I was trying to at least try to fit in for this speech. Or like for the talking. It definitely helps when there's actually at least someone to actually discuss it with. Because holy hell. It would otherwise just feel like I'm talking to another brick wall again. Which, for the last several live streams, has been just a wall. Nope, we're not getting depressing again. That was last time. We're not doing that again. Like, keep a goddamn positive outlook, for the love of God. But that's basically... We can take some adventure off. I already mentioned. Oh my god, like... Hold on. Is it actually just stuck like that? Of course it is because it's fucking YouTube. Man, if only there's a way I could actually make it adjustable. Too bad I lack the critical knowledge to actually make it possible. But that's actually pretty much... But hey, at least that actually... The important is like, oh, how's the audio? Is it? That's something I would have never guessed had no one actually mentioned it. Like, this is why feedback is important. Because all this time, I was like, oh, there's the audio. Let me try and turn it down. Okay, that looks fine. No, that's still too fucking loud. But pretty much to wrap it up for this, so I can actually make sure I mention the model. Yes, I do want to actually change the model, because as much as I actually like how it looks now, I still very much wanted to represent who the actual character is, or what the character is, because even now it's kind of still not remote. Well, I don't want to say not remotely close, but like, I've been making it myself, but like, I'm questioning whether or not it would actually be worth commissioning the model. It would probably be nice, like, have it be something that is like, yeah, this is actually the character. I'm actually excited for this motherfucker. That would probably help actually don't sound tired all the time. What is it supposed to be? You know what? Let's go right back over here. Change the image again. Do I even have it somewhere? I know what the image is supposed to originally be. What the fuck is? All right. Pardon me for like using a very old image of what the character I originally had in mind to be, because this motherfucker was back when I was still in high school. And the image is too big. Hold up. The image is still way too big. How big did they make this image? My apologies. Hold up. How the... Seriously, OBS. How to... Basically, this dude. Oh my god. I don't recall the image being that fucking huge in scaling, but yes. Basically, this dude that is a, to be fair, it's a screenshot on an old ass fucking iPod when Miiverse was still a thing. Because this was a screenshot directly taken off a person who had actually drew my character on Miiverse. Because I actually had a basic idea of what my character wanted to be at the time when I was still in high school. And it was like, oh yeah, I was still very much active in drawing, but I didn't have like a solid idea of what my character actually was, or wanted to look like rather, because it still felt like all over the goddamn place. Basically, this dude. That's enough of that. Because I don't know if you notice, but even with the changes I did try to make for this model, it's nowhere near close to that. Yeah, very unk. It's like I said, I want to say 2014. It's a 12-year-old image that I still have here, because that's how old that reference of my character is. So fucking old. and I have serious doubts to even have something like Miiverse again. Wouldn't that be fun? Only if... I mean... If they do bring anything like that back again, there'd probably be some heavy restrictions on, like, content moderation and stuff like that. Because even in something as more or less sterile as Miiverse, there'd be some shit that had happened if you were to go on something like the YouTube section. I would know, because that's what I did. Because that's what I did. Like, if you go into the YouTube section at the time that Miiverse was a thing, you get a shit ton of, like, posts of, like, content, references to content. A lot of it art related, because there were a shit ton of artists on Miiverse. Again, myself included. But, like... and you would also get a bunch of people role-playing. I wish I was kidding. Yes. And then you would just have like batshit crazy posts or whatever the fuck's happening in the fucking comment section of those posts. Oh, can I even... Like, it's kind of hard to see because, like, it is that fucking... I don't remember how I... This is probably gonna be a stupid idea. Hold up. No, that ain't it. Really wish I could find a way to just slow the chat down. I don't remember that ever being an issue the last time I had this set up. I'm a fucking idiot. Holy hell! That's all I had to fucking do. Oh my god. Don't get a strike from it. No. No. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get a strike from swearing. Not that it would be all that relevant to me anyway, because this channel isn't even monetized. Like, no limited monetization here when there is none to be had. Oh no, I've got to do it for everything else as well. Well, at least I know what I have to do, but I still feel really stupid about it. Like, the answer was so simple. So simple a caveman could do it. With how YouTube be, it's no telling. No. God knows there's no human moderation of anything. It's all AI. Like, seriously, there's not a goddamn chance in hell a human actually looked at some of the stuff they're moderating and saying, yep, the strike still stands. No, we're not rolling back on that decision. It stands. You know what? Speaking of YouTube, not necessarily like granted, I still very much like follow my analytics for some fucking reason. Was it common? No, I made it through Vvoid Studio. Like, it was a software that... Yeah, no, it's a free software you can use on pretty much any OS. You pretty much make the model with the parameters that it had. And this model in particular has gone through at least 3 or 4 reiterations. I want to say 4 because, again, looking back on what I had back in 2022, it was a very basic bitch model because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do with it. I want to say, like, the second iteration was the longest lasting one. Because it was at the time the closest thing it was, but even then, like, it was just a hoodie. the hoodie's probably the one thing that's like, yeah, that doesn't check out. Everything else was fine. Yeah, and I had that damn innovation for like a year, 2 years. I'm actually double checking now. Yeah, and the third one was a change of hoodie again, and a change of the hair. And I think at some point I changed. Nope, no, I haven't, not yet. When was it? I think somewhere along the lines back of last year is what is a change it back to how it was previously, or at the very least to how it is, how the model is now, which is what you're looking at. But like, yeah, changed this motherfucker multiple times, and I very much just wanted. I wanted to at least one of these days, just have it be something that's actually accurate to that rat bastard. But I dare say it still isn't. That's kind of why I was debating on actually commissioning, like proper commissioning a model, whether it be 2D or 3D, because a lot of this has been just done by myself. The model, the editing, the lack of a schedule that exists. Because even something as basic as a schedule was something I tried to do last year, the year before, and I could not follow it for the life of me. I would make a schedule, not follow it at all to what it actually says, and it's like, ah, shit, I gotta make changes, or try to catch up to what I previously had scheduled, and it all fell apart. It's kind of why I set it to like months on the spreadsheet, because at least even if there were delays, I can at least make sure that I can actually do it before the month ends. So I actually have something on the channel rather than just having dead space. Hey, dead space. Because, yeah, it would be supposed to be being active and then just like nothing. Well, I don't want to say nothing, but like, also, why do I have two tabs open up the fucking channel content? I know. Yeah, I wasn't even gonna talk about analytics, but like, because even just looking at it just to kind of see how things are, it's a depressing sight to see. And I don't mean recently. I mean like even previously. Like I would check like, oh, what's the top content? I'm actually trying to keep track of stuff. It's the same shit. It's always the same shit, and it's like, my brother, what? How? That's not even close to what I'm doing nowadays. It got to a point where I was basically ignoring analytics, and it's like, fuck this, I'm doing my own thing. And to be fair, I probably should anyway, because it is not healthy to just look at it as a numbers game. Shows that it isn't healthy to actually try to have a consistent mindset of it. But that's what YouTube put, as fucking bizarre as it is, as fucking weird as it is. Huh. there anything you can mention? Let me reiterate. Is there anything worth mentioning? Because I kind of got off like what I actually wanted to discuss. Basically. And so long as we're continue doing these just chatting streams, I'm basically gonna try and have like try to make it at least consistent. Like, here's a list of things I want to talk about. Here's a couple things I actually want to mention so I can actually get them off my head. Because this is the only instance why I'm just having a shit ton of things in my head that I'm thinking about. It happens every goddamn day. Excuse me. Because apparently I never fucking rest. Nor can I rest, apparently. I haven't been able to get much sleep. But you know what? Before I do end it, do I have... Just to actually reiterate. Actually, I could probably use for fucking profile picture. Why not? Because... Actually, no. Because it's the same goddamn thing, pretty much, as this screen. What else am I actually just getting tired? Despite being able to go on for at least 3 hours, considering that this is the first time I'm actually trying to make it consistent to have just chatting stuff, I'm ironically not used to having fucking going on for that much. Mostly because it's like I don't want to say I'm not very talkative, right? But like, I would have moments where I'm just sat there thinking or trying to come up with stuff to kind of word things properly. I worry too much about what I'm saying rather than, worry about more or stuff like that. Words fail me multiple times. I'm like, what are you trying to say again? What are you doing? I'm sorry? You want to run that by me again? I'm tired. I think that's the most consistent thing I can actually say is that I'm tired. Not necessarily because of sleep, but because I really need to actually get used to having energy. I just don't. That's another thing I probably should have mentioned. If we're gonna have like things actually worth mentioning. Energy. Because unfortunately, despite having doing this for... Is it gonna be 5? No. It's not gonna be 5 years. It's gonna be 4 years. Whoops. Or at least live streaming it would be. Because I started really dipping my dips into live streaming back in 2022. It was like, oh hey, I can make a model. I can do this thing. I can set up OBS and do these things. I don't want to say it's debatable whether or not that was the best decision, considering fucked if I know if that was actually the best decision to have ever made. But here we are. This is what we're doing. This is what I'm sticking with. And God forbid it becomes yet another hobby or another thing that I attempt to do with my spare time. That's just no, but best to actually do it given that I have not. Because funnily enough, I did try to start streaming on Twitch. Unfortunately, that endeavor being more fruitless than my attempts to actually make some form of commentary. Or was it my attempts to actually write essays? It keeps changing. But like, considering the spot that my channel was at the time, I'm pretty sure like my growth on this platform wasn't even related to streaming. It was solely because excuse me. It was solely because of the stuff that I put up that inexplicably woke up thousands of views. Because it was a niche that was being filled that wasn't previously. And then everything else felt like a toss-up. And you may have noticed... Excuse me, oh my gosh. You may have noticed me putting up like stream highlights because these are stuff that I actually highlights I really wish I had put up much sooner. Because now it kind of just feels like, well, this is a bit late to the party. Because I had been very fucking lazy put up highlights on the streams because, funnily enough, there is stuff to highlight on what I do here. There's stuff that is like generally entertaining and stuff that actually stuck out to me. But like, I just never got around to making highlights because that's kind of just how streaming works. Honestly, post videos to move people to the streams. Even with Twitch as a streaming platform, you have to post videos and then start to get views. Yeah, well, collaboration. Yeah. I haven't even thought about collaborations because I genuinely do not believe I'm at a point where I can just ask for a collaboration. Like, my thought process was, oh, let me try to get myself like set up to success before I even consider collaborations. Cause like that's definitely something I ought to be doing, but like I just haven't. I ain't got connections like that. Nor am I good at making nor do I seemingly seem good at making connections. You would think that's some type of experience I would have gotten at some point, but that never developed into. Okay, no, that's not fair. I don't want to say it never developed to anything, but like, it definitely doesn't show. Definitely doesn't show it to be something that's worth anything. And to be fair, what the fuck? Okay. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say like, it showed up the whole like translation again. I think I understand what it's doing. It's saying like, it's saying that you're saying like a word that's not English, so it tries to translate it. But yes, yeah, we all start somewhere. And ironically, it feels like I'm perpetually starting. Oh, that typo, it was definitely... But no, I get it. I get it. Like, but like, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it just perpetually feels like I'm starting. But the end point is just completely... I don't want to say this. I don't want to say it's like the end point is undefined whatsoever. But it feels like I'm steering a boat. It looks like I'm on a boat that has no fucking rudder. Or any sense of direction. It's the Angus effect. You get lost in a straight line. No, I have better direction than that. A better sense of direction than that. I'm not gonna get lost in a straight line. No corners, no turns, just... Then again, that's why I'm trying to make this change, so that there actually is direction. And, you know, try not to have the existential dread kick in. And wonder what the point of any of this is. You know what? Actually, I don't know what to mention, like... Because I'm definitely seeing myself spending more time editing nowadays. If we keep looking at the end, we won't appreciate the journey, and they said Shakespeare dead. Died. Holy English. Yeah, it's like, it's about the journey, not the destination. And to be honest, I always much prefer looking at the journey rather than the destination. Because just thinking about the destination is boring. Oh gosh, what's an example? I seriously gonna think of Hoodwinked. It's like, oh, it's the fucking Red Robin Hood story. But then comes Hoodwinked, and the entire story or the journey that the story takes place in is fucking unhinged. It's actually really like it. It's like, oh, here's the basic story in the Red Robin Hood. But what if we make it unhinged? That honest to God is the example that came to mind. I have no idea why. Maybe it has something to do with subverting expectations or some shit. Maybe. Actually, speaking of a rudderless ship, this is kind of went off the fucking rails. Possibly. Yeah, no, definitely. Actually, you know what? Oh yeah, because I only gave a passing mention about, oh, I'm editing stuff. And pretty much what I have in I have a separate folder for bots. Literally the entire thing is just, oh, what can I edit to make another fucking... It's because I've completely forgotten that I even have another part of Zelda 2 Paracosm. Because that was originally what was going to come up next. And the thing that I never expect to see happen, if I remember correctly, the developer of the hack commented on the video. I'm pretty sure I don't recall any other... I want to say I don't recall... Actually, no. The Generations Ultimate Rebalance mod. That was another developer I actually had a chance to actually talk to. It was during a live stream, but yeah. The video of the first part of Paracosm that I did. Despite it seeming like not having any reach, the developer actually saw the video, commented saying thank you for playing the... Like, it's actually kind of awesome actually seeing devs actually interact with... Like, people actually interacting with the media. Like, it's awesome. I think this... If I had a nickel for every time a developer commented or interacted with the stuff that I'm doing, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it happened twice. it just never expected to happen is what I'm pointing at. And the thing is, I have the second part of Paracosm actually fully edited. The problem is it's the same shtick that I've been doing for like just regular recording videos, because I didn't edit commentary, I didn't make it seem like anything like what I do with the live streams. It's the same shit. Because like, there's still a part of the interaction of the channels was like, the people actually watching it is like, yeah, they're just there for like... I really don't want to make that distinction like, oh, they're here to watch the content of the video, not so much me as the channel, as the face of the channel. Yeah, that's definitely something I need to change. Which is kind of why I was holding off putting like the next part and just having it be like, okay, here's the rest of the game in the actual style of what I actually want to aim for. That's what I actually want to do. That's what I'm actually trying to make do. Because it shows how I'm not gonna... It shows how I don't feel good about just having it be whatever the hell you can call this. Well, not this stream, but like what I've been doing. It's not fun. There's nothing personable with how I was doing stuff. That's kind of why it feels like such a massive disconnect. I want... Shit, I was gonna make... Yeah, the rest of the day was just gonna be me editing. At the very least, this has been fun to actually do. Anything less than that would have been more than long. Should I do that? I'm gonna have to anyway. Like, I'm gonna have to, like, get to editing so I can actually get some goddamn work done. I just figured I would have another opportunity to actually do just chatting again. Because chances are, like, as you said, like, stuff like what I had for, like, the last just chatting is pretty much the future. Like, having more interaction, having, like, personal experiences being laid out, being more relatable. That sort of stuff is actually, you know, something that's actually going to stick. Also, what the hell? Is that what it looks like on it? That's weird. What? Okay. I can see what the emote actually looks like. Meanwhile, that's weird. Yes, I know. And it's not like I'm being paid to edit either. What, am I gonna pay myself? Yeah, it looks menacing. No, actually no, I don't know if I can. I was gonna say like it'll be really funny if during these just chatting streams, I'm just editing in the background. I don't know if I can actually. I probably could. But then again, how much of it is going to be me focusing on editing and how much of it is actually going to be talk about this stuff I want to talk about? And how much resources is that going to take up before things start lagging out on me? Don't know if you can try. Alright, because you can see shit. To be fair, right? The most recent, like, project I had for, like... Yeah, that's why. That's why I was like, I don't know about that. Because, like, the thing that I'm currently editing, since I've been going back to my live streams, downloading, like, the VOD and trying to do, like, edits for, like, highlights. Granted, I have not pinned down how I actually want to do these highlights in a consistent, like, style. That's something I gotta work out. But, like, I've been doing edits for, like, highlights because there's quite a few of them that I never got around to that actually would have gotten people to actually, like... Then again, I'm just bad at advertising, I'm starting to realize. Don't know till you try. Try streaming and editing. GPU explodes. Don't remind me. I haven't gone into actually... Excuse me. Gone into actually, like, making any upgrades for my GPU. Or my PC, for that matter. Nah, we can't have GPUs with RAM. Excuse me? The fuck you mean you're gonna have GPU without RAM? Now see, we have to because something AI data centers. Fuck off. Damn it, this economy keeps treating corporations properly. Still saying, like, the majority of them that aren't even related to AI, but are making AI stuff anyway. I forgot... There's probably too many to count. I forgot what fucking company it was, like, oh no, we make this thing, but we're also gonna have AI because potatoes. Like... I can't. I can't. There was a shoe company. Yeah, yeah, that might have been it. It was a shoe company. What fucking shoe? Fucking shoe company. Was it Allbirds? Like, yeah, I think it was Allbirds. Like, Allbirds becoming an AI company is... Don't you make shoes? Jesus Christ. Gonna have to take with your shoes now. Nah, see, you gotta make smudge. I can't even fucking joke about this. It's depressing. Nah, see, you gotta make AI. You gotta make fucking smudge shoes. Like, this might be going into my own personal shit, but like, especially after a fucking meeting, because of the fucking veto that I work in, and hopefully not for the fucking foreseeable future. But the fucking but we're gonna have more AI glasses. Like, no. I wish I could kind of publicly say like no. Because at least in the area that I'm in, one of the stores is literally the fucking ambassador for these fucking things, and I'm like, how? Why? And you know damn well, right, that the cost to make them is not going to be anywhere near what they're selling it for. That was something I think one of my coworkers actually mentioned. Like, the cost to make them is so much lower compared to the cost it is to sell these things. Yeah, that's definitely mentioning too much, but like, okay, I generally can tell if I'm having a fucking runny nose, or if I actually am just getting sick. I want to say it's just a runny nose, because the thing is, no one has seen the profit investing in AI. Exactly, like, no, you're right, because they're not turning in a profit. The return on investment just isn't there. At least not yet it isn't. And the prospect of the bubble popping, like it's fucking right there. Like, there's no profit to be made, but they're pushing it, but they're trying their damnedest to put AI in everything, without there actually being, all the while trying to force there to be a use case when the only use case there is replacing actual labor. At least for them. Because a lot of the use cases that so far, it's just been like, no, I don't want AI to making art. Just fucking pay someone to make it. No, I don't want excuse me. I want AI to actually do stuff that a human can do. Let the human fucking do it. Like, there's plenty of, like, there's things that is like, yes, we can automate this, but like, you don't want AI to make fucking food, for example. You don't want AI to make art, because it's not art at that point. It's just, you're looking at an image. You don't want AI writing your stories. Let a human tell the story. You don't want AI to develop games. Like, for God's sake, actually treat your developers right. You don't want AI to, like, you don't want AI to fucking mess with your fucking safety net programs. like, there's so much you do not want AI to fucking military. You don't want to using it. You don't want AI to have any sort of access to military shit. Like, at that point, we're just recreating Skynet. And it's just a Terminator movies, or, you know, a Space Odyssey. Or if we're gonna be making parallels to, like, short stories, fucking I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, or the fucking... Is Torment Nexus different from... No, it's literally the same story. What am I thinking? What am I thinking of, like... Don't make this thing. Written by the author... We're making this thing. Because we read the story of Don't Make This Thing. What story was I don't remember. But yes. If only Microsoft could hear this right now. It's not just Microsoft. It's Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, fucking... Oh, there's something I remember. I'm getting distracted. I know, this completely got off the rails. To be fair, there wasn't much there wasn't that much we were discussing in the first place, but like, we kind of made a point. What was I even mentioning? Editing. That's... Excuse me. That's what I was going off on. It's fucking editing. Whoops. And I got a fucking ram because... Fuck having anything nice in this world. Yeah, talk about thoughts about YouTube and stuff, editing ideas, talking about corporate. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. If I could have just a chatting stream where I'm actually talking about, just talking about the stuff that is on my mind, let's just say nothing would be nothing would be off the table. But I also understand that. Actually, no, fuck that. Like, considering that what's typically on my fucking For You page and what channels that I'm actually subscribed to. Yeah. Then again, this isn't even the first time I've been talking about stuff like corporate bullshit, corporate cringe. But like, let's just say I've definitely had my agreements with still technically thoughts. Yeah, I know. But then again, like, I was just mentioning, like, oh, I'm editing stuff. Proceeds to talk about everything that isn't the editing. Because, like, I would just be talking about, like, whatever, because it's just highlights. Because I haven't even started my other projects yet. Because I've mainly just been thinking about what we discussed. Rightfully so, because it's been stagnant. Because chances are, by the time I'm done going through all the highlights I wanted to do, I'm still gonna have to go back and actually do stuff that is on the spreadsheet, because I put those there for a reason. I put those projects there for a reason. Like, ah shit, I'm gonna have to put that back up. 1 second. Boop. Like, I put this here for a reason. It wasn't just for, like, brainstorming thoughts. It's like, no, like, this is what I actually want to do. Because I've had too many run-ins where I'm like, I want to do this thing. Somewhere down the line, I stop doing the thing, and it's like, well, shit, now what I'm gonna do? And then I procrastinate even further. And I hate myself for procrastinating. Like, I want to have a game plan, and I want to stick to it. I have what I want to have in mind for, like, making changes, and actually being able to discuss that in a healthy manner is something that is actually ultimately gonna make this actually worth doing. Like, structure. Something I'm fucking lacking. That's why I was going about this in the first place. Was it about me being tired? Like, I was yawning for like a few fucking minutes because it's like, I gotta stop being tired all the time. Because every time I started the stream, I was like, wow, I'm tired. I probably shouldn't do this yet because I need my energy. I end up doing anyway because I always have delays and shit. Or a change of plans. And to be fair, I probably should, like, actually get to editing. Because, like, I got a bunch of stuff I gotta actually do. And increasingly less time to do them, I'm realizing. So at least for the time being, oh god, excuse me. Like, if there actually is anything to discuss, please let me know before I actually ultimately decide, yeah, I'm actually gonna get my work done and end the stream. Because otherwise, there's actually something I actually want to discuss. It was like, oh no, we actually didn't get to it today. No ideas. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, no, I'm actually gotta get to work then. Hopefully the next stream at... What's today? It's Wednesday. Wednesday's work. Saturday's work. Friday, it's a toss-up. Sunday is basically nothing, but like... I gotta have some time to actually... Let's just say he slept peacefully after this stream. God, I wish. No, like... I've been taking more naps recently, and it shows how tired I am. But then again, it's kind of what I need at this point, because I've just been more exhausted than usual. But like, chances are, right? I'm probably gonna take a nap. Probably grab a bite to eat. Get to editing for several hours because I have a shit ton of footage to siphon through. And figure out what to do for me. Gonna hit that full 8. Wait, what? Oh shit, I'm lost. No! I had my train of thought. What is it? Take a nap. I'm gonna eat. Edit. 8 hours of sleep. Yes. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, what used to be something I got to do on a regular basis, even when I had school, feels like a fucking luxury. Because I always end up waking up in the middle of the night like, wait, why am I awake? That's happened more times than I care to count. Because one of these, either Sunday or Monday, I want to at least it'll probably be like Sunday. The next time I have another. Actually, no, because like. I'm gonna say this right now. Chances are I'm only gonna get the Paracosm because I mean, because it's just not happening. I said, oh, I could fit 2 projects in a month. That's fine. Nope. And I haven't even started, like, what I was gonna do for May. That's not happening. Actually, no, it is happening, but it's probably gonna be later. And everything else is probably gonna be up in the air until what I had for streams for April to June is sorted out. But let's just say I have something. If I haven't come up with anything else yet, I have something in mind for what I'm gonna do for next stream. And chances are it's gonna be for a Kickstarter I help fund. Because I had. Wait, no, only 2 of them were released. I think one of them is still developing. The games I kickstarted. Because I forgot I had actually pitched into Kickstarter all that time ago. Because 2 of those games had released. One of them was actually received fairly well, and the other is, yeah, no, it's not doing too well at all. And hopefully Sunday, I can actually have a live stream where I can actually talk about it. Or at least play through it and actually talk about, like, what my thoughts are after having, like, given some time to play it. Because holy shit, I did not like, that was the one I was looking forward to the most. And can I actually, what the fuck is it? You know what? At risk of showing my fucking Steam library. It's Ember Bane. That's what I'm talking about. Oh. Okay, it's actually at mixed reviews now, but like, when it released, it was at mostly negative. Okay. Should I do reviews? Like, you're not the first one to actually say, like, oh, a game review. But, like, you may have noticed in one of the live streams before, it's like a person named Suma. That's someone I actually know IRL. What's the comments on the game? Like, when I was looking through, like, recent reviews, it was mostly negative. It was mainly because of the bugs that the game released in. Like, game-breaking bugs, the game being barely functioning or playable. Like, the ideas actually being good, but the execution not being so solid. The stagger. Oh yeah, that was something else with, like, Vernal Edge. It's like, enemies have their own stamina bars. They need to constantly attack to actually do, like, combos and shit. Combat. There's, like, very serious problems. And to be fair, right? It was mainly because of, like, like I said, I helped kickstart the game. And the fact that they're kind of realize that the games at least one of the games that kickstarted ended up being like this. Considering that it's a Kickstarter, they had to, right? They had, like, beta tests before, like, the game released. And apparently those issues were discussed, were, like, at least brought up before they released the game. Or at least they tried to address them, but, like, it still wasn't, like, a satisfactory response to actually fixing them. Like, as far as I can tell from, like, what they were posting during, like, the development cycle. Especially after the Kickstarter ended. They're like, I sadly don't have that much recollection, but that's as much as I do know. I don't recall if they had problem with, like, funding. Then again, it's Kickstarter, so fuck if I know. I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near as bad as, like, how... Was it Star Citizen? Like, how that ended up being with, like... How we still don't have a complete game at this point after over a decade. But yeah. And, like, if I do end up making it like a review, I would probably have to actually gather my thoughts and actually write down some shit. Because as much as I suck at writing scripts, it kind of, like, stuff like reviews definitely needs some kind of, like, coherence. Because I don't feel like winging everything. And I did mention one of two games that released that I kickstarted. The other was Mandragora, which I, for some reason, haven't actually installed on this PC yet. Even though that's the game I actually did, like, playtest before it released. Like, they actually gave out, like, pre-release copies of the game to, like, playtest and stuff. Mandragora, anyway. That one is actually doing at least somewhat better as a Kickstarter game than what ended up happening with Ember Bay. Yeah, no, still can't tell if I'm actually being sick or not. Watched like a few hours go by and I was like, yeah, no, you actually are sick, sorry. Fuck you. Fuck your immune system. What is he, hold on. I actually haven't been on Kickstarter in forever. Let's see, it was Ember Bane, Mandragora, and White Raven, which is a tactical RPG. It's, I'm gonna say Fire Emblem, like, but I actually don't remember what the comparison was for, like, White Raven, but that's what it looked like when, like, the Kickstarter campaign. Hey, just to overwork yourself would be better for you to rest for 3 days, and we add a commission for like a week or something. I wish I could tell myself that. Unfortunately, I'm starting to worry if I'm actually a workaholic. Because I'm always doing something. But, yes, that is very much important. Okay, no, seriously. Probably all one. Yeah. Quite the realization at the wild age of 29. Jesus Christ. I'm not getting any younger. Okay, no, seriously. That's what we're going to discuss. I'm going to head over to editing. And hopefully by the next time I actually stream, which, again, is looking like it's going to be Sunday. One away from the big 30s. Hoorah! I would like to stop living in interesting times now. Please and thank you. Okay, no, seriously. Seriously. I'm going to go over to editing. Actually, no, I'm going to give us a good outro. Okay. Going to take a nap. Get some good fucking food. Hopefully one actually make sure I can actually do stuff for like the rest of the week, because fuck knows I'm still trying to do like bungy stuff. And I'm gonna actually edit for I want to say like tomorrow's video, because like I said, editing highlights, and I'm actually trying my best to do like better edits, and hopefully by Sunday, I'm aiming for Sunday, I can actually talk about Ember Bay. Actually kind of get my thoughts. I actually make sure I play it before I give my thoughts, because fuck knows it's actually going to be something I'm probably going to end up mixed about. And I'm always really bad at advertising myself, but like, I actually do enjoy it. There's a subscribe button, you can hit that. There's a like button, because for some reason we only show likes, no dislikes. Like, there's a comment section, those still exist. Like, do not hesitate. Because fuck knows what YouTube does for, like, content that isn't liked or commented or whatever. And how they register views nowadays. And hit the bell. Thank you. Because I forget. Because I forget there's such a thing as a bell notification. So you don't miss any goddamn thing. Is that it? I want to say that's it. Oh yeah, and actually make sure you don't miss the next time a live stream is up. And I'm actually gonna stick by it. And not change last minute because some bullshit happened. Okay.